I've been a huge CM Punk fan for as long as I can remember, and I really miss having him in my WWE games. But with the help of so many awesome creators out there, we've managed to get some really cool custom CM Punks in WWE 2K22. So with that, today on the show, I'm going to walk through how to create a custom entrance, custom Titantron for your CM Punk. But hang with me for the whole thing, because we're going to do two versions of this. We're going to do a basic version, and we're going to do something that's got a little bit more flair and pizzazz to it. Let's have some fun today on the show. Let's go. So two CM Punks, two versions of the man. So step one of this is going to be going into custom creations online, and we need to look for our CM Punk, and we need to look for the custom render images we want to use for our Titantron. Once you're in community creations, hit your filter button, and we need to select our images. We're then gonna go to our hashtags, click my hashtags, type in CM Punk, and here you're gonna get just about everything. From custom render images you wanna use for his profile for your downloaded CM Punk, select one of those. And if you go to most downloaded, you will see a lot of 5x12 images that are used typically for his Titantron. So go through these yourself. Pick out a bunch of them like I did, just so you have some options and you can play with what you like for your Punk entrance. But make sure that they're all 5x12 images. Once you've gone through and downloaded all of the images you want, we're gonna search for CM Punk himself. So filter by superstar with the hashtag for CM Punk, and let's have a look. If you go over to most downloaded, there's a lot. There are a lot of versions of CM Punk. So it's down to you. It's what you like. It's what you think is gonna look good. And what do you think is most accurate? The first two that pop up, a lot of people have downloaded them. They're really awesome. I've tried both of them personally, and I go back and forth. But I have to say, the second one that is on the downloaded list here is the one that I like a little bit more. Now shout out to Dre41, Dre Cause, for this version of CM Punk that we're using in the game, because I think it's really awesome. Download your CM Punk that you like. Step two, we're gonna create the video Titantron entrance for our CM Punk. Go over to creations and hit video. Now you have your preset options here of video clip, cutscene, image animation. We're gonna go to video clip. And for this one, we're gonna try out one of the Titantrons. You'll see in a little bit that we're gonna go and try something different when it comes to the background that we're gonna use for this. Because if you've watched any of our previous episodes on these how-tos, you can't stretch the 5x12 image all the way across the Titantron. So there's leftover gap, and we need to fill it. So this is where your creativity comes in. Put a background Titantron, alpha image, whatever, that you think is gonna look good for the Tron that you're trying to build. For this one and what we're testing out here, I used the NWO. And I did that because we're gonna be covering up the NWO logo itself, and we're gonna have it covered with the CM Punk image over top. But we're still gonna get that grainy TV static image that's gonna go over to the edges. Once we have the NWO image, just click accept, don't change anything, let it encode. Now that we have it saved, here's one of our clips. We're gonna go and select our custom image. This is from the selection of all the ones that we've downloaded. You can use anything you want. This is why I said grab a couple of them, because you can test them out and see what you like. The one that we're gonna use here is the more classic CM Punk with the two fists taped up, making the X with the red background. I'm not using any image animations. I don't like the image animations, frankly, the little transitions they use. It doesn't work very well. If you wanted to use something where it's going to transition and evolve or move around or anything, it tends to just do it too frequently, and you can't chop them up unless you're gonna go and make really tiny clips if you really want some cool transitions. So I stick with just having it right there, right on the Titantron. So take the CM Punk that you have, stretch it out as far as you can for the height and the width, and for the timing, maximize it all the way to 30 seconds. Now the NWO clip that we used is not 30 seconds, it's 20 seconds. This is okay. It's actually 19 seconds and 91 milliseconds, whatever, you get my point. With the NWO clip that you drop in, put it in at the bottom layer. What I did though is I moved it over one frame. Move it over just one frame. When you do this, you can put the CM Punk logo over top, and when the Tron actually starts, it'll start properly with CM Punk's logo on it. If you don't separate it, you will get one frame of the NWO Titantron showing up. So just move it over one frame and you're good. Then we add in the CM Punk as the top layer, and for your middle layer, put in the NWO Titantron as the background. And then just name it, save it, and you're good. So here's the third step to this. Now that we have the Titantron that we just built really quick, really easy, let's go over to entrances and let's customize the entrance for CM Punk. You can see the layout that I have here for the template. I'm using Roderick Strong 1, same for Roddy Strong 1 for his title motion. The music, play with it. Play with different music theme songs to see what works for you. For me, I'm using the final episode, Let's Change Channel. I think it works for Punk. And for the Titantron movie, select the saved Titantron that you just made. So you can see that we have a really cool Titantron where you got a little bit of the NWO fuzziness in the background, CM Punk's classic fists taped up X as the motion. The thing is with this entrance overall is that you're not even getting a huge amount of the Titantron showing. And that can be okay, or if you wanted to change it up and you want to have more Titantron, then just change up the entrance and try to play with different entrances, see what kind of works for your custom Punk. Now, from the banner movie to the stage ramp movie, the apron and the ring posts, screen effects, play with all of this. I used Batista for the banner movie because it's more of a static. I used Hollywood Hogan for the stage ramp, and AJ Styles for the apron ring post movie. But I have gone in and changed this around. For the stage ramp, I ended up using Razor Ramon. I like that it is just a little bit more of a fire. It's kind of simple in there. It's nothing crazy, and I just left it at that. So that's creating a basic, easy to use CM Punk custom entrance with the Titantron. Now let's move on to step 2 of all of this, or section 2, or part 2, I don't know, whatever you guys want to call it. But let's move on to the second half of this, and let's make a Titantron that's gonna have a few more images in it, so it's gonna look a little bit more polished, as best we can. So here we go. Head back into creations and video. We're gonna create a new one. We're gonna go to video clip. This time we're gonna use video clip preset and look around at all the different ones. Some of them that I've tried out before that I just find that are kind of simple, they don't take away from too much, are background loop number 3. And for this one that we're testing out, I'm using background loop 15. Encode it and just drop it right in. I use this one because the timing on it is 29 seconds. It's almost the entire duration of the Titantron. And I did this because I wanna leave available the middle layer and the top layer so that we can use more images for CM Punk. So now let's start by adding more custom images. So select custom image and you have, again, all of your saved CM Punk images that you have. This is where your creativity comes in. Start off how you want to make it. Build it how you want. But the tips that I have here are that you want to watch the timing for each of the clips that you're inserting. If you want something where you're going to have multiple images put in there into the timeline, you want to time it out so it kind of flows. Remember, you have 30 seconds to work with, and keep in mind that the triggers and trying to time it out so you can hit like exactly 5 seconds, it's pretty hard. You might get lucky a few times. You might have to sit there and try to mess with it and wiggle it a little bit, but try your best to time it out. Just remember you got 30 seconds. The first image we're going to use is the CM Punk with the TV. We're gonna drop that in. Again, I'm not gonna use any of the custom image animations for this, and I'm just gonna stretch it out as far as I can again, and I'm trying to get it to about 5 seconds for my first clip that's going to go in to the timeline. Save that, and let's go again, and let's pick out another image. This time I'm using the fists again, the red, and we're gonna stretch it out again. This time I'm making this a little bit longer. This is the one that I'm gonna see the most during the entrance for CM Punk, so I'm gonna keep this one at 10 seconds. Oh, Joe, look at that. I actually hit it 10 seconds on the dot. That's hard to do. I give myself a slide pat on the back. Let's add a third one. And for this, I am gonna go with the stars, and we're gonna keep this one at 5 seconds as best we can. Again, no transitions, no other animations. We saved it. And the last one that I wanna use is, I'm going to use the best in the world. And for this one again, stretch it out and try to hit it at about 5 seconds if you want. Okay, we've got our background layer for the video, and we've got all of the Punk images we want to use, and they're all timed out to get to us to about 30 seconds. Now I have 5 seconds remaining. I don't have a lot of options here. I could just make one of these clips 10 seconds and boom, I'm done. Or if you wanted to kind of loop a little bit, keep it as is, and we'll go with it this way. So watch this. We'll drop in all of our Punk images into the timeline. Set it up how you want. I did the TV first, then I did the Punk fists, then I did the stars, then I did best in the world. And because I had that little bit of extra, I added in the CM Punk TV again. Now, because of the way I timed this, there is a slight gap in there, but it's really not gonna be noticeable because Punk's entrance that we're using, if we keep with the Roderick Strong entrance, it's not even 30 seconds. So it's really not gonna affect you if you're gonna do it this way. I don't want any filters. I don't wanna add anything different. Let's name this thing Punk 2 and let it encode. Now, once again, we're gonna head back into entrance, customize the entrance for CM Punk, but this time let's switch it up and let's add Punk number 2 Titantron video that we made. So you can see when the video starts, you get the TV for the CM Punk, which is cool. And I like having the yellow-orange strobe light as the background because it's not overly distracting and it pops a little bit more. And then it's gonna switch to the fists as Punk is walking down the ramp, which is cool. But again, we did all this work and you're not really seeing the other images. So play around with the entrance motion that Punk is using. Also keep in mind the arenas you're in, where the Titantron might be placed. But hopefully this helps you if you are looking to make your own CM Punk for a basic entrance, or if you want something that's got a couple more images and how to really time it out. For some of us, it's a little bit complicated and weird trying to play with these little Titantron things and trying to get these images and what to use. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this episode all the way through, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check out this one right here. I go through Cody Rhodes, downloading Cody Rhodes, and setting up an American Nightmare Titantron, or brand new Shawn Michaels from the My Rise mode, how to download it, how to get it and set it up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.